Hello, and welcome to the answers to the daily quiz. 23L1. Two positive numbers add to 500. The product of 8 more than the first and 15 less than the second is a maximum. Write primary and secondary equations that would enable you to solve this problem. All right, so we're going to start with our primary. All right, so a primary equation is what you're looking for, right? And we're looking for a maximum something. So the maximum of the product of 8 more than the first and 15 less than the second. We haven't defined our variables. We're just going to call them x and y. So 8 more than the first times, because it says product, 15 less than the second is a maximum, and it's a product. You can call it M, you can call it P. I'm going to go P because it's a product. So the product equals x plus 8 times y minus 15. Now our secondary equation is the equation that helps us get these x's and y's to both be x's. And that information comes from right up here where it says two positive numbers add up to 500. So our secondary equation is we take our two numbers and they add to 500. That's all you had to do for that one. Just come up with the equations. 35L1, no calculator. So what we'll do for this one is we have this, and this kind of looks like it's derivative, so we're going to use a u substitution. U equals x squared minus 5. So then du equals 2x dx. All right, here's x, here's dx. Let's get rid of that 2. So what we got is e to the u du over 2. I'm going to pull the 1/2 out. Now these limits are in terms of x. I want them to be in terms of u. So what I do is I take the x, put it into this equation, and I get u out. So 2 squared minus 5 is negative 1. And then 3 squared minus 5 is 4. And now I can integrate. I got 1/2. The antiderivative of e to the u is, oh, that's nice, e to the u from negative 1 to 4. And now I substitute 1/2 e to the 4th minus e to the negative 1. You can write it as e to the negative 1, but I like 1 over e. Why? Just because. And that's it. I don't need a decimal approximation. And in fact, for a no calculator portion, a decimal approximation just makes it look like you used a calculator. 36L1, separate the variables. So we want the y's on one side and the x's on the other. Well, if we look at the right side, we notice both terms have a y. So I'm going to factor the y out of both terms. And I have y times 4x plus x squared equals dy dx. And I'm going to multiply by dx, divide by y to get them on their respective sides. We got dy over y equals 4x plus x squared dx. There we go on that one. Moving on to multiple choice. 25MC. Volume of a certain cone for which the sum of its radius r and height is constant is given by v equals 1/3 pi r squared times 10 minus r. The rate of change of the radius of the cone with respect to time is 6. In terms of r, what is the rate of change of the volume of the cone with respect to time? Now before I do anything, I look at all the answers and I notice there's no parentheses in any of the answers. So what I do what I notice that is I'll distribute. So I get rid of the parentheses in the question. So I'll distribute. We got volume equals 10/3 pi r squared minus 1/3 pi r cubed. And now I can integrate dv dt with respect to time equals, we'll use the power rule, 2 times 10 pi over 3 is 20 pi over 3. R powers down and then chain rule it to dr dt. Minus 3 times 1/3 is 1 pi r squared dr dt. And then they tell us that the rate of change of the radius of the cone with respect to time is 6. That means dr dt equals 6. So every place I see dr dt, I'm throwing a 6. So we got 20 pi 3r times 6 minus pi r squared times 6. All right, clean this up a little bit. The 3 and the 6 reduced to 2 and 1. So this is 40 pi r minus 6 pi r squared, which we can see is E. All right, moving on to 34 MC. Here they're telling us what U is. That's nice, because then I can go straight through and say that du equals 2x dx. Now notice I have x, I have dx, I have x dx. Let's get rid of that 2. So du over 2 equals x dx. All right, let's put that in. Here we got, this is u to the 5th. X dx is 1/2 du. And then this -1, we throw it into our substitution. -1 squared minus 3 is -2. And this 4 squared minus 3 is 13. And that so nicely matches up with C. Right, don't forget to change your units, or change your limits. And finally, 35 MC. What is the particular solution to the differential equation dy dx equals xy squared with the initial condition y of 2 equals 1? All right, so what we'll do is we'll first separate this. We'll have y to the -2 dy, because I'll divide by -y squared, which is really y to the -2, equals x dx. All right, we'll integrate. Power up to -1 and divide. So we got -y to the -1 equals 1/2 x squared plus an unknown constant. We can do our initial condition whenever we want. I'm going to get rid of this fraction first. I don't like that. I'm also going to rewrite this as a fraction. So what we'll do is we'll have -1 over y equals 1/2 x squared plus c. Now if I double both sides, that fraction will go away. We'll have -2 over y equals x squared plus 2 times the constant I don't know is a constant I don't know. And I think this is a good time to maybe throw in that point. Again, you don't know. Could be at any time. So whenever. If it doesn't work out very nicely, try it later. Try it sooner. X is 2. Y is 1. So we got -2 equals 4 plus c. So that means c is -6. That's a pretty nice c. So what we got is -2 over y equals x squared minus 6. Let's flip both sides because I like y on top because these answers are all y equals, not 2 over y equals. So we'll flip them. We got negative y over 2 equals, when we flip that, it becomes 1 over x squared minus 6. Deal with the negative here. We'll multiply both sides by negative, so we'll have y over 2 equals, that'll make it x squared minus, or negative x squared plus 6. The closest we have to that over here is 6 minus x squared. And we'll finish by multiplying both sides by 2, which you can see is D. So the correct answer is D. Y equals 2 over 6 minus x squared. So there's your answers to the daily quiz. I hope you did well, and I hope you do well on tomorrow's test.